Bedtime Stories with the Story Club for Kids. Hello, children. It's time to wind up for the day and settle down for the night. I hope all of you have brushed your teeth and are ready for bed. Now, let's begin our first bedtime story for tonight. This story is called The Three Billy Goats Gruff. Once upon a time, there were three billy goats who lived in a field. They were known as the Billy Goats Gruff, and they were brothers. The oldest brother was very big and fierce looking, with a big bushy beard and long curling horns. The middle-sized brother was smaller and looked more gentle. He had a soft, wavy beard and shorter horns. The youngest brother was very small and looked very tiny and weak. His horns were short and he had hardly any beard at all. The Billy Goats Gruff were happy munching away at the grass in the field. However, after a while, the grass began to look thin and bare. Now, over the river, there was a bigger field full of the greenest grass that the Billy Goats Gruff had ever seen. The river was fast and deep, and the only way to get to the other side was over a rickety wooden bridge. But under the bridge lived a fearsome troll who would jump out and gobble up anybody who tried to cross over. The grass in the goats' field grew thinner and thinner, and one day the eldest Billy Goat Gruff called his brothers to him and said, "If we stay here much longer, we will starve. We will not have any food left to eat. We must try to cross the bridge, but how can we get past that big troll?" The other two thought for a moment, and then the youngest goat said, "I have a plan. Listen to me." A few moments later, the youngest Billy Goat Gruff trotted bravely up and, taking a deep breath, he stepped lightly onto the bridge. Trip, trap, went his hooves on the rickety wood. The troll jumped out. "Who goes trip-trapping on my bridge?" "Only the youngest Billy Goat Gruff," squeaked the little goat. "Goody, goody. I'm going to gobble you up," growled the troll. Wait, Mr. Troll. Look how small I am. My big brother will be coming in a minute. He's much bigger. Why spoil your appetite? Wait for him." The troll grumbled and groaned and then said, "Very well, off you go. Your brother will make a much tastier meal. I shall wait for him." The youngest Billy Goat Gruff tripped and trapped over the bridge, and the troll climbed back down to his hiding place to wait. A few moments later, the middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff trotted bravely up and stepped firmly onto the bridge. Trip, trap, went his hooves on the rickety wood. Out jumped the troll, angrier than before. "Who goes trip-trapping on my bridge?" "Only the middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff," replied the middle-sized goat calmly. "Goody, goody. I've been waiting for you. I'm going to gobble you up," gloated the troll. "Wait, Mr. Troll. My big brother, who is coming soon, is much bigger than I am. Why spoil your appetite? Wait for him." Once more, the troll grumbled and then said, "All right, off you go. Your big brother will make an even tastier meal. I shall wait for him." The middle-sized billy goat Gruff tripped and trapped over the bridge. The troll climbed back to his hiding place, and a few moments later, the eldest billy goat Gruff trotted bravely along. Taking a deep breath, he stamped loudly on the bridge. Trip, trap, trip, trap, went his hooves on the rickety wood. The troll jumped out, angrier than ever before. "Who goes trip-trapping on my bridge?" "I am the eldest billy goat Gruff," announced the big goat proudly. "Goody, goody. So you are the one I've been waiting for. I'm going to gobble you up." "Oh no, Mr. Troll, I don't think so." The eldest billy goat Gruff tossed his horns in defiance, then stood up straight and tall and looked the fierce troll right in the eye without being scared. "I am going to cross the bridge," he said in his fierce, deep voice. The troll took a step forward. Thump, thump, thump went the front hooves of the eldest billy goat Gruff as he scraped them on the bridge in anger. The troll took one more step. All of a sudden, the eldest billy goat Gruff charged at the fierce troll. He hit him with his long curling horns as hard as he could. Boomf! The troll flew through the air. Splash! He landed in the river and was swept right away downstream in the strong current of the river, never to be seen again. The eldest billy goat Gruff tripped and trapped proudly over the bridge to join his two younger brothers. There on the other side of the deep river, they had all the finest green grass they could eat, and the three billy goats Gruff never ran out of grass again. When people heard that the big troll was no more, they began to use the bridge again, and every time they crossed over, they would always wave a grateful thank you to the three billy goats Gruff. The end. And now let us listen to our next story. This is the story of the musical mouse. Martha the mouse was a quiet little mouse. She lived in her toadstool house and was very polite to all her neighbors. In fact, there was nothing very out of the ordinary about Martha until one day Martha was busy cleaning her house, doing the thing she loved best in the whole world, singing. Martha would sing at the top of her voice while she used to clean her house, certain that none of her neighbors could hear her. Then, one hot day, Martha had left a window open. Now, everyone could hear her beautiful singing voice. Soon, a whole crowd of little animals and insects had gathered outside Martha's window to hear her sing as she cleaned her house. When Martha stopped singing, the crowd burst into applause and cheers. Martha soon realized that everyone had heard her sing. She started to feel quite shy. "You have such a lovely voice," said a ladybird. "Can we come again tomorrow and hear you sing, please? If I had a voice like yours, I would sing for as many people as I could." Martha was surprised and she smiled, and very slowly she started to feel quite proud of herself. Then the next day, Martha opened all the windows of her little house. She took a deep breath and sang as loudly as she could as she cleaned her house. She decided that she would never be shy about her voice ever again. The end. And now let us listen to our next story. This story is called The Fastest Sloth in the Jungle. Sammy the sloth was a little bit different. All the sloths in his family liked to move slowly, and I mean very slowly. In fact, all the sloths in his neighborhood liked to move very slowly. Sammy was the only sloth he knew who wanted to be fast. Sammy decided to ask for help from his friends. The fastest friend he knew was a cheetah. Chidi the cheetah was very fast. He whizzed from one end of the jungle to the other at lightning speed. When Chidi the cheetah had stopped running for long enough, Sammy asked him a question. Chidi, how do you run so fast? Chidi thought for a moment. A very fast moment. Then he replied, I just move my legs and think about where I want to go. Sammy smiled. That sounds easy enough, he thought. Sammy closed his eyes and pictured the watering hole at the far end of the jungle. Then he began to move his legs. He moved them faster and faster until he was certain he was nearly there. When Sammy opened his eyes, he realized he had only moved as far as the next tree. This is hopeless, sighed Sammy, as he slumped again against the tree and very slowly slid to the floor. Just then, Chidi zoomed by once more. He stopped when he saw the sad look on Sammy's face. Sammy wants to move fast, Chidi thought. I'm the best at that. Surely I can think of a way to help him. That's it. Chidi had an idea. Later that day, Chidi told Sammy that he had a surprise for him. I'll be right there, said Sammy excitedly. After quite a long time, Sammy reached the clearing where Chidi stood with his surprise. It was a trampoline. All you have to do is bounce, said Chidi. The trampoline does all the rest. Sammy slowly climbed onto the trampoline and started to bounce. Soon he was zooming through the air with the help of the trampoline, bouncing happily. He was thrilled. I really am the fastest sloth in the jungle. The end. And that's all for tonight. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye bye, children.